Hi guys, it's me, Happy Cat, and welcome to my channel. Nice for you guys to be here. I am so happy that you guys are here because I'm gonna talk about something quite deep and serious and meaningful about me. And I've been tiptoeing around the subject and I don't even know how I'm gonna tell you guys. It's gonna be tough. This is actually part of the reason why I didn't upload last week, because it's quite a heavy subject and I did actually record it all last week, and my voice was a little bit croaky last week, so it wasn't really great quality. But yeah, I did record the whole video last week and I decided not to share it because I over worry about everything, because that's what I do. I over worry about everything. But I thought, you know what, I kind of had time to think about why I wanted to do it in the first place and what the benefit was. So if you want to find out what it is, keep on watching. But before I get into that, let me update you with my weight loss. I say weight loss. It's not really weight loss, but my weight update. So last week I actually maintained weight, which I don't mind, and this week I've gained 2 pounds. Now I do think the weight gain this week was to do with time of the month. Well, to begin with, all I wanted to do was eat and eat and eat. So last week, most of last week, I was just craving chocolate, I was just craving food, I just wanted to eat everything in sight, and to begin with I couldn't understand why. And then obviously things happened and I was like, oh, okay, that's why. The great thing though about my scales that I use, they are body analyzer scales, so it does tell you if you are holding on to water weight. So when I weighed myself today, it did actually increase by 1 point of water weight. So maybe I am just retaining water at the moment, so I'm not too worried about the 2 pound gain. And I did eat a lot of crap, so yeah, but that's fine. It's a struggle. That's the whole point of weight loss. When I even lost weight last year, it's one of the hardest things to do, and the important thing is not to knock yourself down, because that, I believe, is why a lot of people give up. What you have to do is never give up, even if there's gains. Weight loss is never a straight line. Weight loss is never just one downward slope. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, but eventually over time it will decrease. So yeah, I mean, I definitely know there's things I could have done better last week, and I'm hoping I'll be able to put stuff in place to protect myself for next time when it happens. But the good news is, this week, from like Tuesday onwards, I haven't been hungry at all, and if anything, I keep forgetting to eat. Not really, but it's just because it's been quite hot and I don't really feel like eating a big meal when it's hot, and I haven't been craving chocolate at all for like the last 4 days. So I'm hoping the weight loss will come back next week and it will, you know, the situation will improve by next week. Hopefully I'll lose water weight, and the fact I'm not really craving anything this week will hopefully show on the scale next week. So yeah, I guess I'm going to talk about, oh by the way guys, I know I'm sat here right now, I keep moving every video, but it's because I'm actually buying brand new lights to go around my bed. So hopefully in the next video, when you guys see me next, I will have lights around my bed. I'm so excited. Okay, so to get on to the more heavy subject, now I do want to warn anyone who has had issues with food and eating in the past. I just want to give out a warning and a disclaimer now to turn off the video if this sort of subject makes you feel uneasy, makes you feel uncomfortable. I do not want to, you know, I do not want to ruin anyone's day. Okay, so disclaimer out the way. Oh, this is such a hard subject to talk about. And one of the reasons why it's so hard is because it's embarrassing, to be fair. There's a stigma around it. It's embarrassing because people judge you for it. And, you know, and it's almost shameful to say it and to admit it. But I can't even say it. I'm just like, I'm still like tiptoeing around the subject. But let's just say what some of my favorite YouTubers and TV shows, which I'll pop up here, one of the main things that they address and talking about is eating issues, eating disorders, and the subject of binge eating. So some of my favorite YouTubers, like weight loss related YouTubers, have struggled with binge eating, and this is why it makes me a little bit more comfortable to talk about it now, because they're quite open about talking about it. However, I find with these YouTubers, they come from a background of binge eating, and they are now in their prime weight, their prime goal, and you know, maybe not 100%, but you know, they have recovered or in recovery from binge eating, and they have, oh sorry, that's my PlayStation. And they have found ways to tackle it and get past it, and now they're at a healthy weight and they're happy. And a lot of YouTubers I've seen have talked about how to get over binge eating, or how I overcame binge eating, but I don't really come across many YouTubers, or any that I've seen anyway, that are actually struggling with binge eating right now, and also are on a weight loss journey now while having binge eating problems. So this is why I wasn't really going to talk about it, because it is quite private and personal, and I haven't even told any of my friends this, right? I've told no one that I have an issue with binge eating, but yeah, I guess what I wanted to do is sort of talk about it and hope that other people watching who's got a binge eating problem now might be able to, we can almost sort of go on a journey together, if that makes sense, instead of just seeing the end result and being like, hey, this is my weight loss, I did all this weight loss when I got over binge eating. I find, even though it's really inspiring to see that, at the same time, seeing it from eyes from someone who's still suffering from it, I always think, like, how do you get past it? How? Like, you know, I wish I could be like that now. I wish that was me now. God, those people are so lucky that they got to where they are now. I wish I could do that. You know, and then you start talking about self-criticism, how you're failing, how, you know, what's the point? You're never going to get there. You know, all these voices in your head that you get from binge eating. Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to start my weight loss journey with being fully open about my binge eating problem, and then I'm hoping other people who are going through the same things would be able to see that first-hand experience on how to actually lose weight when you're in the middle of having a binge eating problem now. But I will say, some of my favourite YouTubers, I wouldn't even have the courage to do this now if it wasn't for them. They have been so open about talking about this problem, and seeing their results, and that really motivates me, and this is why they're some of my favourite YouTubers, because I'm hoping my future looks like them, if that makes sense. So I do know everyone's experiences are different, and mine will be different to someone else's. But let me just give you a little bit of a inside look at what my life has been like, and sort of explain a bit more about it and why I do it, I guess. Because again, a lot of people don't have this issue, and they don't understand why people can't just stop eating, or why it's so hard. In fact, I even know people personally who hate junk food, who won't even walk into a McDonald's or cannot stand the smell of it, you know. I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like that, but it's not me, okay? I like junk food, right? I like junk food, and this is the problem. See, with my issue with binge eating is to do with more like snacking more. Like I won't go to like McDonald's and order 2 meals for myself. I don't do that. But let's just pick out my worst day I've had this year, okay? My worst day was around Easter time. It was actually, yeah, it was around Easter time. So I had a Domino's. I had a whole large pizza to myself, which, you know, to some people that's quite normal, okay? So fine, it's a big meal, but it's a junk meal, and if you did that once in a while occasionally, that would be alright. But then I ended up having a whole box of Jaffa cakes later on, And then I had a whole pack of biscuits, I think. And then I had a whole bar of dairy milk chocolate, like a large share size bar. So my binging is more like, instead of just eating a fast amount in an hour, I'll eat it a whole day. So over the whole day, I will end up eating that much, and it's not good. And it's a problem I've always had, and I don't know why I have this problem. A lot of people said you should sort of think about why you do it and think about, you know, where the emotion's coming from. And this is the thing. I don't think I binge eat when I'm sad. I know I binge eat when I'm stressed, and I think I do it more when I'm bored. So I don't think I'm an emotional eater in the sense like I will eat it when I'm really sad. In fact, when I'm sad, I tend to not want to eat. But it tends to be like a reward. So if I'm bored, I'll reward myself with food, and if something good has happened, I'll reward myself with food. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something to celebrate, you celebrate with food. But, you know, it's like that reward setting in my brain. And I think that's why I did alright with Slimming World to start with, because with Slimming World you got your certificates and your stars if you were progressing in your weight loss, and it was like a reward trigger, and that was good. But the problem is, even in Slimming World, and I don't know, some of my issues I've had is because of doing things like Slimming World. I think it's almost given me that bad relationship with food, if that makes sense. I mean, I've always kind of had it in every circumstance in my life. When I've been with friends, when I've been with housemates, they've always been like, let's celebrate, let's go out and eat somewhere to celebrate, right? Even for birthdays, you go out and eat somewhere in a restaurant. So you almost get like taught at a young age as a reward is food and a reward is treats. You know, and people always, you know, if you're having like a cheat meal or something, they'll be like, oh, don't worry, you deserve it, right? So saying stuff like that over time in your head from when you're little to when you're older, it plants seeds, and then you associate rewards with food. This is my own personal take on this. And again, I get into a state that if I don't have it, if I deny myself it, like say I want some chocolate and I tell myself not to have it, I just want it more and more and more and more, and it will get to a point where it becomes obsessive, and all I can think about is that. I've learned a lot of things to do with this over the last year, and I think I know how to fix it. So with that thing of wanting more and more and more and more, like when I keep denying myself it, I'll get to the point where I'll say no to myself so much that I could maybe last a few days, and I'll say no to myself for a few days, and then it will build up, and then suddenly I will blow out and I will binge. I will eat like a stupid amount of chocolate in one go. I don't purge afterwards. I know some people have problems with that, but I don't do that. And I feel a bit guilty afterwards, but not that much. In some ways, this is the thing. A lot of people say that when they binge, they feel guilty afterwards. I don't. I generally feel good afterwards. To start with, I feel good. It like all the endorphins go, you know, because chocolate does actually give you endorphins. On a chemical level, chocolate does make you feel good. So after I've just binged on everything, I will actually feel really good. I'd be like, oh, I needed that. I'd feel satisfied. That's what I'd feel like. I feel like it makes me feel satisfied. It's only till the next day I will then regret it and be like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna mess up my weight loss for the week. What have I done? Yeah, and I do have that mentality that as soon as I start, I can't stop. But at the same time, if I don't let myself start to start with, then the pressure will build up, and then I will just go crazy. So it's an awkward balance, and it's a tiptoe. And I will say, on the times when I'm denying myself it, like those sorts of food, and I go on for a few days, I get in a really bad mood. I get hangry, I get cranky, I get more stressed, right? Because I'm denying it. You know, it's so weird. It's so strange how food can have such a power over someone. And, you know, I find it quite fascinating in some ways. But yeah, basically, I do feel like, though, I'm understanding it more. And I feel like the first I feel like the first step of recovery is admitting it, and this is why I'm making it so public on YouTube, because it's like an acknowledgement to myself. It's being completely open and honest and not hiding it, because something else that you do as a binger is you will eat in secret. You will eat stuff without people knowing, and you do it secretly. But I don't know why, because just like, so one of my favorite YouTuber, Jordan Shrinks, she did a really good video about this. I think it was about like silly things she did when she was overweight or something. I'll link her video down below. She is really, really good, by the way. One of my favorites. But she was like, you know, she used to sneak down, get food from the kitchen, take it back up to her room and eat it so her housemates didn't see. And then when she was downstairs with her housemates, she'd pretend to eat like a really healthy meal, but then take food upstairs. And then, like she says, like, I'm not fooling anyone because I'm overweight. You can physically see I must be eating more. So, you know, she had a really good perspective on the situation. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking her out. But yeah, you know, I just feel like admitting it is important. Plus, there's going to be loads of other people who are in the same situation, and I just feel like if I can help someone else, then it'll be worth the while. You know, if I can help someone else make that first step, then, and you know what, it's nothing to be ashamed of, right? It's a problem. It's just a conditional behavioral problem that you've learned over time through life experience or just through general stuff and habits that get ingrained into your head, and it's just trying to learn how to counteract it and almost do a bit of like self-CBT and try to correct and change your way of thinking. So over the coming weeks, I will be trying out new things every week, and I'll share with you what worked, what didn't work, and stuff like that, just so I can hopefully give you guys some feedback. So if anyone else is struggling, you could also try these things too. But yeah, it's a big deal to talk about this, and it kind of feels good though. It kind of feels good talking about it. And I will say I haven't been binging so much recently. I said I think my last proper binge was like Easter time. And I was gaining a bit too much weight then. I haven't really gained any weight since like Easter time. Because now I recognize it and now I need to correct it. So that's what I'm doing. And I don't want this to have a power over me. You know, I want to be able to conquer it, and I want to be able to beat it, and I want to be able to succeed. So yeah, there are a few things I'm going to try this week already after doing a lot of, again, watching people's channels or people who have overcome binge eating. I am going to take some tricks and stuff for this week and just see if anything works. So I'm going to try 3 things this week, and then next week I'll come back and let you know how that got on, plus with my weight loss update to see if it actually made any difference. So the first thing is, after every meal, I'm going to brush my teeth to finish the meal. Now, I know brushing your teeth straight after a meal is very bad for you. Do not do that. All the dentists in the world would be shouting at me. You have to wait 30 minutes until you can safely brush your teeth after eating. But that's what I'll do, because one of my things I've noticed and learned over time is that when I've had a meal, especially when it's been a super healthy meal, that reward part of my brain goes off. I'm like, oh look, you just had a super healthy meal. Now you can have some chocolate. That's how my brain works, okay? I need to break this cycle. So I'm gonna have my meal, wait half hour, and then brush my teeth. And then that will finish the meal, and because obviously your mouth will be minty from the toothpaste and the mouthwash, you're not gonna feel like eating chocolate, because, you know, everything tastes weird after you brush your teeth, right? The second thing I'm gonna do this week is just drink coffee in the morning, and a coffee around like the afternoon. So I normally have 1 coffee a day, and I don't really time when I have the coffee. I kind of have the coffee whenever I kind of fancy it. But I do know from my own personal experience that when I have coffee in the past, you're like less likely to crave stuff. I don't know if something in the caffeine or something like that in coffee, but when you drink coffee, you're less likely to want to crave sugary stuff. So I'm gonna have a coffee in the morning, coffee mid-afternoon. Again, I'm gonna sort of time it around the times where I would normally crave something. So, and I can't have coffee late at night because I would be able to sleep. But I think if I have a coffee in the morning and maybe at like 3 o'clock, that's what I'm going to try to do this week and see if it makes any difference. Plus, I obviously want to get my exercise back on this week, because exercise was a really good key thing for me. And again, when I exercise, I don't want to eat crap. And I'm not one of those people that can get up 4 in the morning to exercise. That is not me at all. I get a second wind in the afternoon. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I stay up late, I get up late, but then I have more energy in the afternoon / evening. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up in the evening and then exercise. And the final thing I'm going to do, that's something different this week, is every time I do get a craving, I'm just going to drink a full glass of water. Like a whole glass of water. I'm going to down it in one. Because it's the hormone ghrelin, right? Ghrelin makes you hungry. And leptin levels drop, which also makes you hungry. So if I have a glass of water, a full glass of water, whenever I feel a little bit hungry or like I want to snack on something, hopefully that will trigger the hopefully that will trigger the senses connecting my brain to my stomach to tell me that I have eaten something and I don't need to eat something, because filling your stomach up with water will give you that fullness that will hopefully trigger your brain into thinking you don't need it. And then if I am still hungry after that, I'm going to try to get some healthy snacks lined up straight away. I'm going to have some boiled eggs. I'm going to have some... And also, the other important thing about this is making food taste amazing. You do not want to eat a rabbit food diet if you don't like it. You don't want plain salad. If you're not one of those people that like plain salad and chicken, it's not sustainable. You need to have food that you love, just a healthier version of it, because that way you look forward to your meals and you feel more satisfied when you've had something that you really love. Yeah, so I know that was a bit of an information overload on you guys. Just take it all in. I'm still trying to take it all in. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to try to do this week, and hopefully I might get some better results next week. But yeah, I hope this has been beneficial to someone. I don't care if I can just help one person, that will make me happy. And if you guys are in the same situation and you want some support, then please subscribe to my channel, because I will be so happy to support anyone. And I want the Happy Cat Club to be a community, okay? This is why it's called a club. I called it a club because I want everyone to feel like they're part of something and part of a community. So please subscribe and please share this video around, especially to people who you think might be going through the same issues. So yeah, that will mean the world to me. It's a big subject, it's a big first step, but I'm excited for the future, and I'm looking at my favorite YouTubers and I'm like, they did it, okay? And even they say if they can do it, anyone can do it. Please subscribe. I have a video coming up on Monday. It's an exciting one. It's about skincare. Monday's video will be about skincare for acne flare-ups. So obviously, like I said to you, time of the month, I always get an outbreak. So in Monday's video, you'll see how I managed to cope with the outbreak. Because even though my face looks pretty good on camera, trust me, it's not. And you'll see that on Monday. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and until next time, bye.